This is the English alphabet, which has 26 letters, and pretty much everyone knows him, therefore, there's nothing special about him. But did you know other languages use completely different scripts to write? And in those languages, there's some letters that look kind of similar to ones we have in English, but there's also other letters that look completely different from what we have in English. And in this video, we are gonna talk about 12 craziest letters, 12 coolest letters in the entire universe. And by this, I mean, we ain't gonna talk about letters that were used like thousands of years ago by some like empires on the walls or anything. Now we are gonna discuss the letters that we use today. But before I begin, my name is Saunab and I love learning languages. So without further ado, let's get down to business. I don't know how much we're gonna make. Alors, c'est parti. At number 12 we got this letter in Thai. It makes a n sound as in like net, nose. And the reason it's so cool is that it just looks like the movement of snakes, you know what I mean? I think when Thai people were creating their alphabet, they just saw a snake and they were like afraid. They were like, what sound did I make? So this word, they just got this letter. Seriously, this is the reason why many people, including me, are afraid of learning Thai. It's just some snakes moving from here to there and you call them fucking letters. What's wrong with you? At number 11, we got this letter, the uppercase delta. As you guessed it, it makes the D sound. Now I know what you are thinking. Sound of, I have seen that somewhere in my math classes. Well, exactly. The reason it's so cool is that the ancient mathematicians liked it so much that they eventually copied it and call it a triangle. What the fuck is a triangle? Just drop out of fucking school and start learning languages 24/7. At number 10, we have this letter in German. Now it was originally beta in Greek, but in German it makes like the sound equal to two S's. And it's kind of frustrating to write that. You can just write two S's, right? There's a gigabyte country, Switzerland. They still write double S's instead of this crap looking thing. I just hate this letter. At number 9, we got this letter in Japanese. And it has so many readings, and one of them being karada, which means like your body. And if we break it down, you can see like the first one, it's a radical of a person like hito. And the second one, it means a book. But how on earth a book and a person means your body? It's like a person reading books. But how on earth reading a book makes your body healthy? It don't make no sense. There's also this one, like a tree and a person. You can say like a person sitting under the tree. It means like resting, right? But reading a book doesn't mean you're healthy. At number 8, we got this letter in Hangugo. And it makes the E sound. Simple, right? Just a line from top to bottom and it makes E sound. How easy is that? Imnida, Hamnida, Irubun. And my favorite example of this is Ikanaika. Before we talk about the rest of the letters, I want to quickly remind that I have a Discord server about languages. About languages, your hobbies and pretty much everything. And the link is in the description and in my channel info. So if you are interested, you can join. There's 67,000 people, so try to be one of the first 70,000 people. At number 7, we got this letter in Castellano. It makes an N sound, niño. The reason that I like this letter is that it's just a regular N with an eyebrow smashed on top of it. Niño. Unya. At number 6, we got this letter in Russian. Now you may wonder, that's not a letter, that's just a number 3 in English. Well, you are right, they just copied it from the American language and called it a new letter. Anyway, it makes a Z sound like Zdravstvuyte. How easy it is to pronounce Zdravstvuyte, which means hello. And it's one of the first words that you're gonna learn if you study Russian. There's a lot of letters in Russian that they just copied from American and they just changed the pronunciation of them or they just changed them a bit so that their teachers wouldn't notice them. We are gonna talk about them in a bit. At number 5, we got this letter again in Spanish. And the pronunciation of this letter is not Y. I mean it is, but in most dialects it's just Z. Some people might pronounce it as yo, but my favorite one is the Argentinian one where they pronounce it like SH, sir. So it's not yo soy or yo soy, it's so soy. How cool is that? I guess I should one day learn Castellano Rio Platense to like C2 to surprise Messi and Mikapeles by speaking their language fluently in the streets of Buenos Aires. At number 4, we got this letter in Khmer. Attention all Americans or everyone in the world who doesn't like geography. There's a country in the Southeast Asia called Cambodia which shares the border with Thailand, which you may recognize. And people over there speak a language called Khmer. It's not Khmer, it's Khmer. And they have this letter which makes the k sound. And the reason I find it crazy is just its appearance. It just looks like they were trying to write the number 8 and they ran out of tinta and they didn't have any money to buy tinta. They were just like, oh voila, I just invented a new letter. But be honest, they were trying to write the number 8 in American. Why the fuck do I call it American? It should be Belizean. Number 3, we got this character in Japanese. It's rated Uchu and it's mainly used in this word Yu Uchu, which means like melancholy or depression. It's extremely rare and extremely tough. It has like 29 strokes. It just looks so cool. Like imagine going to Japan and asking people in the streets to write that character. They will be like, Kaki kata o shiranai ka? And you are writing that with no mistake. they will be impressed and fall in love with you. And I did try to learn the stroke orders of that character, but I forgot. I might have to try it again. At number 2, we got these two letters combined in French, and this one is pronounced like O, and this one is pronounced like E, like in Belizean. So how would you think you pronounce this? It's not oui, it's wa. See how simple is that? And I like it for that reason. Like moi, toi, moi, loin. I mean, if you wanna write a foreign word, oi, you may use these two dots on top of oi, but I have never seen any words written like that. Nor is it common, but Oua is interesting. Si t'apprends le français, t'es gay. C'est pas vrai, c'est faux. J'apprends le français, je suis pas gay. Before we get to the number 1, let's talk about some honorable mentions. Like two L's in Spanish. It's not L, it's the same as yeah in different dialects like so, jo, or yo. And these two in Russian, it's not P and H, it's rather R and N. C in Japanese. If you look at it carefully, it looks like the English C. C, C. And in the number 1 position, we got this letter in Russian. If you look at it, you might say it's just the lowercase b and lowercase l combined. So it's supposed to make the sound ble, right? No. It makes the sound ui. Just kidding. It makes the sound e. And some people might exaggerate and say ui. And you know who I am talking about by some people, right? I might tag him. Language Simp, if you are watching this video, let me know. You make the ui sound very well. It's fantastic. It's incredible. The reason that I like this sound is like it's kind of confusing. T, and every time people correct me, T is nice. There's nothing wrong in my pronunciation. It's T or Tui. So yeah, it was my list of 12 crazy ass 12 coolest letters in the entire universe. And let me know if you agree with me or not. If you don't agree with me, feel free to debate, feel free to argue, feel free to do whatever you want in the comment section. So yeah, it was all for this video. See you in the next one. Till then, arrivederci. What did they say that in Italian? I don't know. Yeah, goodbye.